You think that most Toyota Corollas are a little bit boring? Well, you'd be right, because they kind of are. But this one very much isn't. Feast your eyes on the new Toyota Corolla GRMN. In this video, we'll be poking our fingers into too many vents. Considering the interior, or lack of it, there are no back seats. And considering also the importance of motorsport when you're developing a road car. Look at him go! But if GRMN sounds like a bit of a mouthful, at least it has a point. GR is Gazoo Racing, or Toyota's performance/rally arm, and MN stands for Meister of the Nürburgring, or Master of the Nürburgring. And yes, that does indicate that this car has been absolutely rallied to death on the Nürburgring to hone it perfectly. If you think about GRMNs as being harder, faster, more hardcore, limited run versions of the normal cars, it's kind of like the GT3 RS to the GT3, or the CSL to the M, as it were.
So what have we got? Well, this is the most psychotic version of the GR Corolla, and it's been fettled hard.
Look at it. It just looks like it wants to snort the white lines off the road. It's got these big slash-cut daylight running lights, bigger vents, lots of cooling in here, different little openings. Now they're for transmission, cooling the engine, oil coolers, all that sort of stuff. This bit is all completely different. It's got these little carbon flicks, and then if you come up onto the bonnet, which is carbon fibre, you'll notice it's got these slash-cut vents and various vents that pull hot air out from under the bonnet. Now this car's interesting because it actually manages its airflow under the bonnet to produce downforce, which is something that I didn't think was possible, but apparently maths has been involved. And then as we come down the side of the car, these arches are also carbon fibre and seem to consist mostly a vent. Now these do two different things. One of these lifts that turbulent air out of the wheel well and allows it to pull it out, and these pull air through and create downforce. Now downforce from your wheel arches, yes, it is possible. It's got a bigger nose, which you can see with the splitter coming around the side here, and then these air curtains that also push air around the front wheels. Those brakes are 14-inch 4-piston on the front, 2-piston on the back on 11.7-inch rotors. They're better at high-speed stops than the standard GR, stay cooler for longer, and are lighter too. It's also got serious rubber, Michelin Cup 2s, so they'll add some sticky. And then as we come down the car, again, more carbon for the roof. It's got a nice big side skirt, and if you notice the wheels back here, they're 18-inch forged alloys, so they've not gone for like ride-compromising 20s or something that looks better that performs worse. And as we come to the back, you've got this big wing, which I think looks really quite cool. It's also adjustable because the front of the car produces so much downforce now. They gave you this rear wing, which is adjustable in 5 different positions in 2-degree increments, so you can get full downforce on the B660 on your way home from Tesco.
And those carbon bits really are light. Toyota allowed me to demonstrate that lightness as long as I wore the requisite white gloves to prevent my dirty hands leaving marks.
My favourite bit of this car though, and it always has been, is the exhaust. But because someone has parked it handily against a wall, come over to this one, we'll have a look. Now this car is slightly different in that it's a Morizo RR edition, officially still a concept at the moment, but Morizo is the alias of Akio Toyoda, and he likes things a little bit more sensible. So this one's got a much more laid back rear wing, 5 seats and an 8-speed automatic gearbox, but it does have the same exhaust. Now look at it. It's basically a 3-pipe setup. These outer two are your drive-by emissions meeting, quite quiet exhausts, and the centre one is essentially an active bypass pipe. So when this car revs past about 4,500 RPM, all of the noise comes out of that. It'll give you less back pressure and all of the horsepower. That's the noisy one. And it's not just the outside that's had an upgrade, although the engine isn't as crazy as you might think. Under here is the familiar 1.6 G16E GTS motor that's a 3-cylinder with a turbo.
We first saw this engine in the GR Yaris back in 2020, and it was rather good. The Corolla had to wait until 2023 for the full GR treatment, but when it arrived, it brought plenty of character and playfulness with it. As you can see here, it doesn't mind a bit of rough treatment. Balanced, precise and friendly, it quickly established itself as one of the more entertaining hot hatches around. It got a facelift last year, and now we're here.
The interesting thing is, this car makes the same power as before, it's about 300 brake horsepower, but it has 7 pounds-feet more torque. Now that sounds like absolutely nothing, but it's been specifically tuned to produce that torque between 4,000 and 4,600 RPM, which is what Gazoo Racing have actually identified as being the optimum for drive out of corners. It's also got an intercooler water spray down there, which I remember from Subarus back in the 90s.
And all of that is driving through variable all-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual only. And that gets rev matching too for those perfect downshifts. The car weighs about 1,460 kilograms, some 30 kilograms lighter than the GR, so should be good for low 4 seconds 0 to 60 miles an hour. But Toyota reckons there's more drivability here, which is good. And here's a slightly odd one.
So usually a damper would be this way up, bouncing up and down, which is good for road cars. But in the GRMN, it's upside down in the front suspension. The rear is perfectly normal. Now this is more common in racing cars, but because it's less reliable over thousands and thousands of miles, they don't tend to use it in road cars. It is more precise, however, so it's good if you want to be sporty. As for the interior, well, there's that manual gearbox we were talking about, which looks quite neat. It's got a flock dash to prevent kind of reflections in the windscreen, which is something that's usually done on race cars. And then the big thing you notice is these seats, which are new sports buckets. They look really good. I've had a sit in one over there and they are very comfortable. And also it's got a really low seat base, so even taller drivers should be comfortable in here. It's got a lovely Alcantara wheel, which just feels really good, and a manual handbrake. But the big news is what's not in here, because if I look back there are no back seats. This is a pure two-seater, and look, it's got a sort of very big strengthening bar. So what you lose in friends, you gain in shopping space.
But even so, it looks like there's all the usual stuff in here. Smallish touchscreen, wireless charging, cup holders. It's still a usable car. The steering has been retuned with Corolla-specific settings, and the all-wheel drive also has a different brain specifically for this vehicle.
But here is kind of where the magic happens. Because this is a four-wheel drive car, you've got a drive selector in front of the gear stick. But down here is where you can alter the torque split between the front and rear axles, so you can just basically make this car how you want it. I love 80% to the rear and 20 to the front. It's just enough to save you when you go a bit wild.
There's a limited run plate here, the instrument panel with Morizo signature, and generally more race-inspired feel to the interior. And racing is very much the inspiration here, because it's not just the Nürburgring where Toyota puts its car's feet to the fire. It's been competing with various Corollas all over the place, not least here in Japan in the Super Taikyu series.
Look, this is the hydrogen Corolla on the grid getting ready to race in this 24-hour Super Taikyu race. And you can notice some of the aero that's been taken to put onto the GRMN. Things like the rear spoiler, you can see it in the sills, and then these front wheel arch vents. It is all related to racing.
If your gear is going to burn down, it'll be here. And if it doesn't, then it will have proved itself worthy. It's all a big mess of race, brake, fix, repeat.
Look at him go! That's hydrogen power.
So here's the thing about the GRMN Corolla. It's a detail car. It's not about having the most horsepower, because it's about what you do with it that counts. In fact, there's only one thing that I've got a huge problem with, and that's the fact that we're not actually getting this car in the UK. So come on, Toyota, send us the goods.